Ancient Egyptians had used the Red Sea to bypass their southern neighbours in Nubia and deal directly with those even further south in trade and commerce. Over a millennium later, this was also the route that the Ptolemaic kings of Egypt used to stage elephant hunting expeditions down the east coast of Africa. Subsequently, the Romans inherited these ancient lanes of commerce. Now, having learned all this, we must depart Axum and sail even further down the eastern coast of Africa. At this point, Roman ships prepared to leave the Red Sea and make contact with markets in Somalia. Beyond the flat and barren Somalian coastal plains, there were arid mountains and a large inland plateau, on which a variety of exotic aromatic trees grew wild. The trading stations in this distant land were known by the Romans as the Far Side ports, and the natives instead lived in small self-governing tribal communities. Each of the coastal trade stations here were not ruled by an overarching king, but were each ruled by its own chief, or tyrannida. Each of these Far Side markets was known to have its own distinct character. Some were considered unruly and rowdy, while others generally had a peaceful reputation. Whatever their behaviour, Roman traders generally referred to these Africans as barbaroi, or barbarians. The first of the Far Side markets reached by Roman ships was the small port town of Avalates, which stood on the narrow choke point-like entrance to the Red Sea and possessed one of the populations known to be unruly. Rafts and small craft from other parts of the African east coast and Arabia would routinely come to this settlement along with the Romans. In return for low-value goods such as colourful glass baubles, Egyptian olives, Roman clothing, grain and tin, local traders provided small amounts of ivory, turtle shell and an extremely high-quality myrrh, which was valued at 16 denarii per pound of weight, more than a labourer earned in 2 weeks. Sailing further, the first Somali port on the Horn of Africa was Malau, a settlement which offered plentiful myrrh supplies and an extremely valuable product known as cassia, a type of cinnamon, which was sold for 50 denarii per pound. In return for these highly sought-after products and other fragrant woods, Romans exchanged objects similar to those at Avalates. 2 days' sail further east was the port of Mundu, and it offered similar goods to Malau in return for Roman clothing, food, glassware, iron and money. We know that glassware was a popular exchange item here because shards of it have been found in archaeological expeditions. Similar to the Axumite king, the native dealers at this port also had a thrifty and hard bargaining reputation. 2 or 3 days even further east was Mosolon, almost at the very point of East Africa's Horn. This settlement had close access to different inland regions, which in turn offered unique natural products. This included large quantities of the aforementioned valuable cassia, and this location was so famed for that particular high-demand, high-value product that larger Roman ships would go specifically to Mosolon to trade in it. Due to the very expensive nature of the cassia, Roman traders offered native traders silverware and precious stones. Further ports in the Somalia region offered similar products and traded them for similar Roman exports. Rounding the Horn of Africa and then sailing south, specialized trading ships would eventually reach a trading post known as a pone, which was especially known for its good quality African slaves. After skipping by several other smaller trading stations such as Serapeon, Nikon and the island of Meneutheus, a Roman trader would reach the very last port of trade on the coast of East Africa, Rapta. At this point, the enterprising sailor was around 3,000 miles away from the imperial borders. If they looked further south, they would see an uncharted, unknown territory and had no incentives to explore further.